Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series and the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel. We foray still through February of 1985, a prime time here in World Class. We have 4 first run segments and a encore presentation. Those that listen to the channel know I don't like the encores. Needless to say, the encore is worth watching if you haven't been keeping up with us. It is the championship win for the Midnight Express, Bobby Eaton and Dennis Condrey, with Jim Cornette. And, then we go into an interview with the Express in the locker room. Cornette talks about wanting the Von Erichs. Cornette talks about the Express being the best tag team in the world, and he is very passionate about this, obviously. He's gold. Worth going out of your way to check out a very mid-20s something Jim Cornette in this promo. Puts his team over, puts the other teams over, and an amazing thing there. We move into... I'm actually believing that the Midnight Express might be the greatest tag team of the last 40 years. I cannot imagine another team that I would consider to be such a good team. And I haven't even seen most of their Mid-South stuff. Haven't critically watched much of their NWA stuff in a while. Going to be doing all of that. But anyhow... get an amazing match up here next out of Jose Lothario and Johnny Mantell. And to get a really good match out of those guys says something. I'm gaining respect also as I go through this of Dennis Condrey. Condrey, not a guy I was terribly familiar with. I am partial to and still remain partial to the Lane Eaton Express that was formulated in 1987. But, certainly gaining respect for Condrey here. Lothario is able to shine here and do what he's good at, which is strike and move. Bobby sells for him like $1 million. The Express works like a team, walks like a team, acts like a team. Anytime they get overwhelmed, you immediately see them go back to the corner, seek each other out. Johnny Mantell, who we saw, I think it was last week in a draw. He can be plugged into anything. Tag off and Jose Superstock Lothario and Dennis Condrey go at it well. Tag off between and the cutoff for the baby faces is good. Do a lot of basic stuff, but they keep in the corner. I think there's so much now of the high spot guys who are more worried about what move they get in than telling a tag team match story that I think there's a lost art to the tag match. AEW is doing much better with that, I think, but certainly independent guys who actually want to gain more of a career, more longevity in a career. Using tag teams as a way to do that is a great way to do that. But I mean, even the way that Bobby Eaton, who I think is one of the better guys who never got a full singles run anywhere majorly of note, the way he cinches up on an armbar, the way he cinches up on a leg lock, just a big deal. Also, he gets launched into a big back body drop midpoint in the match, and he's backing off, but he's also grabbing at his back. He's being the heel, but also registering pain. And I think there's an art form, too, that's been lost in a lot of cases. Two, we either see sell pain or we see, do the back off. And I think when you do both, it adds another layer. Mantell goes for a massive clothesline and gets it. That is advantageous for him. Condrey breaks things down. Condrey more basic as a wrestler. You're not going to see as many, I guess you'd say, high impact moves from him or whatever have you. Also, this is different for the Express because this is not an enhancement match territory, which I think is one of the places that the Midnight Express shines, and they're not allowed to do that here. You've seen that in the NWA. Saw that a little more in Mid South than you do here. Needless to say, Jim Cornette gets involved, uses the tennis racket and whatnot, and then we see a trip up, temporary distraction, and Cornette allows his team to get the victory. Amazing there. We go, speaking of squash matches, though, we do have one as Gary Hart with a one-man gang against Mike Reed. Reed obviously doesn't have half a prayer of managing with the one-man gang. Gang uses bear hugs and tosses him around, and then the big splash. Probably 2 or 3 minutes there. You're not going to expect a lot. You're going to expect Gang to do what a one-man gang would do, and that is completely obliterate his adversaries. We do see a short promo from Mike Von Erich before we go to the main event. The main event's given about a little less than 10 minutes. Von Erich, for some reason, I guess you'd say, supported by Sunshine and Billy Jack Haynes from previous weeks, and then we see Jake Roberts and Mike Von Erich. I'd still rather see Jake and Kerry, but this is not bad. Jake brings a whole new level to Mike Von Erich in terms of fire and just getting him to get more out of holds. Jake's facials add so much to Von Erich being a reasonable adversary. Jake goes for the leg grapevine and then stays on the ankle and the foot for a while. Jake is not the least bit worried about anything other than cranking on a hold for 2 or 3 minutes, which in a 8 or 10 minute match is really amazing. I mean, now you couldn't even get guys to hold a hold for 45 seconds. But Jake Roberts works it for 2 or 3 minutes, and he's always in motion too. That's the other thing about holds is a lot of guys today will grab a hold and think the crowd's going to get bored. If everybody's selling it correctly, there's no reason for the crowd to get bored. A lot of mileage can be gotten out of something as simple as a body slam, and then we see Von Erich go for the claw. Jake Roberts says he's done with that. Slides to the outside. Von Erich does not get the claw on. And Roberts rolls back in, takes one punch, just one, and is able to, get things going his way for a moment. Running high knee, which seems to be a popular finish here lately. And the high knee is the finish for Von Erich, who gets the victory here. We will move into the midpoint of February with our next episode, but until then, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.